Gotta make some cornbread. Oh, on the turkey legs, y'all. Sorry if the video cut off. Throw some butter off in there. Fill it up with water. Throw it in the oven. Okay. We gonna make some cornbread. We ain't using no jiffy or nothing. Stick of butter. That way you won't go wrong. Remember I said we ain't scared of butter. Alright, hold this. Bam. Oil. People be scared of me making the driest cornbread. You need this oil for your cornbread, for your dressing, for your cornbread, period. Stop making this dry cornbread. Thank you. Now we're going to just put that in the oven, let that butter and that oil melt together. Boom. Alright. If you're going to make a regular small pan that may feed about 3-4 people, you're going to use 1 cup of 1 cup of flour. White flour and self-rising, and I already made 1 batch, but this one here is going to be for a nice amount of people, so I'm going to make 2 cups of flour. Here we go. Bam. Alright, flour over with. Cornmeal, any kind of cornmeal you see. I love Bilo. White cornmeal, self-rising. You can use yellow, but I don't like to. So you're going to do 2 cups of flour. You're going to do 2 cups of cornmeal. Bam. Y'all see I cooks because I ain't got to go through all that serious measurement. Alright. Baking powder. You are going to use, if you're making the normal size for 4 people, you're going to use 4 teaspoons. I'm making a double size, so I'm going to use 8 teaspoons. It ain't got to be all perfectly measured. You see, I got me a little plastic spoon. You know what I mean? But you ain't going to dump it like a dump truck either. So you just do it like that. They got a little thing made on there for you. That's 1. Please count off. 2. 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Y'all know me. I do what I want to do. Alright. So we got that baking powder out the way. Now, here's the important part. Do not make your dressing with no jiffy. And we're not going to turn our scratch cornbread into jiffy. So, we're going to put sugar in there. We're going to put just enough. Again, you're going to have to use your discretion. Because there's no measuring with the sugar. But you don't want to make it sweet like jiffy. So, we just, boom. In this case, less is more. Okay? Got your eggs over here. So we normally gonna use, for the 4 people, you use 2 eggs. We're gonna double the recipe, so we're gonna use 4 eggs. Boom. Right there. That's why you got your bag right there. Boom. That's 2. Three. 4. Alright. Next up, we're going to salt. You're going to put salt in it. Please be careful with this salt. Please. Again, we're going to get out just our little plastic spoon. It ain't got to be all perfect. You ain't got to get nervous. But we're going to 1 teaspoon of salt for 4 for the regular size. I'm doubling it, so I'm going to do 2 teaspoons. There it is. Alright. So I always count off. This first thing Joe Baby ever taught me to cook. I was 8 years old. So I got flour, cornmeal, 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of cornmeal, sugar at your discretion, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of salt, 2 eggs. Then we're going to get the milk out. And you're going to do for the regular size, you're going to do a cup of milk. But again, I'm doubling mine, so I'm going to do 2 cups of milk. It ain't no special milk. I use 2%. Some people like buttermilk. I don't go through all of that. If you want to use it, wonderful. If you don't, wonderful. Pour it in there. Now, through my expertise, I know you always need a little, just how you feel about it. Okay? Boom, we're done with that. Cut off. So we got everything in there. Salt, powders, sugar, all of our dry items. We got our eggs, our milk. Okay, now we need our butter. I should have thrown this in here a little sooner, but we're going to see. Ain't quite completely melted yet. What we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to take our part that we're going to pour in this here pan or bowl, and then we're going to put the rest back in the oven and let it melt. So you do it just like this. Don't be scared. Don't hold it high so it don't hit you or nothing like that. You just pour it in there. Oh, well, look at that. It already melted. Leave a little in the pan, because that's going to keep it from sticking. So leave a little bit in there. All right. Now we're going to put that right there. And get us something to stir with. That's already clean, but you know how I'm is. I'm crazy. All right. So you just stir it up. Just stir it up. Some people like to use mixers and all of that. Totally unnecessary. You just mix it on up. Turn the bowl while you're mixing if you want to do that. However, there's no ingenious way to mix up no cornbread. But again, please don't be scared of the butter. Be careful with the sugar. Be careful with the salt. And again, if more you need, you just keep doubling the recipe. Like I said, my pan I made for this house, I made tripled it. This pan is for a nice family that I know. And the cook in the house, she down. She had a little surgery. So I said, I'm going to make them some dressing too. That's my contribution. And I'm sure they'll be blessed, and so will I. All right. Look at my back wing going, y'all. Excuse me, sorry. Okay. Now, that's good enough. It ain't got to be all beat to death or none of that. Okay, so then you take this. Try to get this on the flat, make it flat so it can be even. The butter in there. And you just pour it in there.